Hello again, John Primus from VMworld 2010, here with Michelle Borovac from Wanova. Hi, Michelle.
Hello.
We'd like to speak about some VDI stuff and what you guys are doing in that space. So can you give us a background on who Wanova is and where you play?
Sure, absolutely. So Wanova is about a 3-year-old company. We've been shipping product for just a little over 5 months now, and we are in the distributed desktop virtualization space. And so what that means is we're focused on helping organizations better manage, support, and protect primarily their remote and mobile and distributed users, so branch offices and folks that have laptops that are roaming around the globe, needing to get their business done.
Okay, and how is this different or similar to VDI? Because everyone is so focused on centralizing, and this sounds like it's still allowing you to be decentralized yet centrally managed.
Exactly, and that's the challenge for distributed organizations. VDI works very well for folks that are connected via high-speed internet connection. They've got a LAN connection. They don't need to work offline. That's a great solution for VDI. Where we pick up is where folks do need to go mobile, and so we allow a lot of the benefits of VDI in terms of being able to centralize the full contents of a desktop in the data center. You can do single image management. You can protect that data. You can restore it as it's needed. But from an end user perspective, we're actually executing at the endpoint. So they're able to work offline. They can install applications. They can maintain their data over time, and just anytime they connect back to the network, any changes they've made synchronize up to the data center, and consequently any changes made by IT will synchronize back down with their PC.
That sounds very interesting. And from a management point of view, you're managing it centrally, you're managing the images and applications. From a storage point of view, the data can be stored on their local PC and synchronized back to the data center? Okay.
So yeah, it's stored in both locations, and one of the things that we do that's unique is we do a lot of deduplication. So our DNA is in WAN optimization. Our co-founders are from that industry, and so we understand very well what it takes to move stuff from point A to point B in an efficient manner. We've applied that also to storage. So if you look at our typical deployment ratio, which is 1,000 end users to a single server, we can deduplicate across all of those users all the way through to the back-end storage. So if you and I share a copy of a file, it's only going to get written to that storage infrastructure once.
That's very interesting. And from an ROI point of view, when you look at VDI, there's a heavy one-time upfront investment of storage, servers, and a lot of infrastructure in the data center, where it's very costly. This sounds like there's less overhead, and so the ROI, there's maybe a better ROI story there.
We have a pretty compelling ROI, and we actually have a process that we go through with all of our customers to help justify that. But yes, absolutely, it's a simple client. We don't require a hypervisor on the endpoint. You use it with the PCs that you already have. So from a deployment standpoint, it's easy. You just email or download a file, and the endpoint becomes manageable. The process of centralizing that endpoint happens in the background, so it's totally transparent to the end user. They're not offline. You don't have to wipe and load their PC to get the product installed. And then once the data is centralized, it's able to be managed. And again, because you're actually executing on the PC, there's no server farm that's required in the data center to actually execute all those desktops. So from a deployment standpoint, it's very, very simple. It's easy to manage, and the infrastructure requirements are pretty light.
That's great. And from, everyone's talking about the cloud now, and VDI, and certain other themes. What's Wanova doing in that space as far as, being able to extend this into the cloud and have those same flexible type resources move both internally as well as maybe managed by a service provider?
Sure, it's a great question, and one of the advantages of our product is that it really is hardware agnostic. So this centrally stored desktop that you have can be deployed out to an endpoint and run on a PC. It's hardware agnostic, so by simply swapping out a base image, you can move from one type of hardware to another type of hardware, or you can deploy it in a virtual scenario. So you could actually deploy it in a hypervisor in the data center, and so take a scenario where an end user loses their PC. It's going to take 3 or 4 days before you get a replacement piece of hardware to them. You can actually grant them access to their entire desktop located in a hypervisor in the data center, and they can access that via RDP or some other similar protocol until they, again, and get their full desktop back on their endpoint. So we have customers that are using that exact capability, and in fact we had an announcement at the show this week with a joint customer between VMware and ourselves, and this customer is called DDC. They're a managed service provider, and what they offer are cloud-based management services that allow their customers to basically take everything from the fully virtual all the way down to the fully physical, and this can all be managed by DDC.
That's great. So I hope you found that useful, and thank you for sharing some time with us and the thoughts on Wanova. It sounds like a very good solution for specific use cases, and hopefully we'll hear more about you.
Great, thank you.
So, and come back again for some more video blogs. We'll be catching up with some other folks here, VM Turbo and Liquidware Labs, so hopefully you'll join us for those. Thank you.